From Fox 8, this is the Endymion Extravaganza with your hosts Meg Gatto, Kelsey Davis, and Arthur Hardy. Sponsored by Mardi Gras World, Oxner Health, Beads by the Dozen, Hancock Whitney. Fox 8 Tuxedos provided by Tuxedos to Go.
Good evening. For the first time in 2 years, the Super Crew of Endymion has taken over the streets of Mid-City, and they are ready for a massive party tonight as they celebrate the return of the carnival season in the Superdome. I'm Meg Gatto. Thank you for joining us.
And I'm Kelsey Davis. We're also joined by Arthur Hardy, publisher of the Mardi Gras Guide. He's here to give us some insight on the parade, the crew, the history. Again, it's going to be an awesome night. We're so excited to be here.
If you didn't make it out to the route, don't worry. We've got you covered from the action in the street to the party right here in the Superdome. And the best part is you don't even have to leave your couch.
That's absolutely right. And Juan, Kincaid, Garland, Gillen are down on the ground getting some different perspectives of what's going on here in the Dome. And they'll be dodging beads and all kind of throws while they're getting, again, a close-up look of all the extravaganza fun happening all night long.
So, how does it feel, guys? How does it feel to be back? Kelsey, this is actually your first time in the Superdome for this.
First time ever at the extravaganza. It's beautiful. We were talking about how this place filled up so fast. Arthur, we watched as people were lined up outside around 5 o'clock. The doors opened, and this place is packed now.
It took about 5 minutes to get everybody inside.
Exactly.
I mean, they're ready to rock,
Absolutely.
huh?
It's going to be a great night. I'm so excited about this. This band, Arthur and I have been talking about, the Wise Guys. I mean, they are killing it right now.
There's so much energy. We've been dancing up here ourselves. We're supposed to be working right now, but man,
definitely
this is cool.
getting the crowd ready for sure. Arthur, how does it feel for you to be back after 2 years? You know, back in 2020, we were inside the convention center for the Endymion Extravaganza. Yep. So we haven't been in here since 2019. How does it feel to be back? You know, we've weathered a pandemic, which we're still in. You've got thousands of people in here tonight. How does it feel for you?
It feels terrific. And you know, the last time we did this at the convention center was the night of the tragedy with someone being killed. And then last year, another tragedy, COVID. So we're back, baby, and I'm so happy about it, and as are all the people behind us, right?
Oh, yeah, they are definitely amped up, and they are ready for a party tonight. And, you know, the parade is actually moving pretty quickly from what we understand.
Absolutely.
We're ready for them to come into the Superdome, and we're going to be hearing from, you know, the battle of the bands, if you will. We'll have the parade of the bands as they all file through the Superdome, and then every float comes in, and those riders are going to be throwing till it hurts.
And, Meg, 3,200, just over 3,200 riders, 36 floats, all those bands. It's going to be an absolute party in here. Arthur, what are you looking forward to most tonight?
Well, it's more than 36 floats. If you dismantle them, it's about 85 floats. You know, I love the floats. I love the bands, being a former high school band director. The whole night's going to be terrific. I just can't wait to get started. We just heard the floats are right outside the Dome. So we're about ready to kick it off for real, huh?
And we cannot forget about tonight's headliners. Kelsey, I know you are very excited about Miss Diana Ross.
I just got chills again when you said that. I am so thrilled about Diana Ross, the boss. She's going to start things off here in a few hours after the parade rolls through here. But this crowd, I'm telling you, this crowd is already, they came in here dancing. So once Lady Di hits the stage, it's going to go nuts. I can't wait to see it.
And then after Diana Ross, we've got Maroon 5 taking to the stage. Maroon 5 has actually performed here at the Extravaganza a number of times. They've rode in Endymion, and they always seem to have such a fun time with this. This is truly an experience like no other. I mean, if you have never been in here to experience this, it's hard to even describe it to people.
And it doesn't end until 3 o'clock in the morning.
Sometimes later.
Yeah.
It'll be quite a night, I'm sure.
And the best part is these people will leave this extravaganza, sleep a few hours, and be back on the parade route in the morning. It's Mardi Gras, folks. It's Mardi Gras.
And I would venture to say they may have been partying all day long before they got into the Dome. So they might be, you know, a few hours into it. Or several hours.
Yeah, and y'all are taking a look right now. The band we're talking about, you can see they are getting it right now. That is the Wise Guys. They've been saying a little bit of everything. Michael Jackson moment now, but again, they are absolutely fabulous as well.
This year's Motown, we've done Chicago. I think they've done a lot of variety tonight. They haven't stopped playing for about an hour.
I know, they're great. This year's theme for the parade is Legends of Fire and Ice. Now, something interesting, they didn't make any upgrades or really any changes to any of the floats, but really they didn't need to because Endymion is synonymous with these floats. that are huge and that have such amazing technological advances over some of the other parades. You're taking a live look now as the parade is now passing Loyola there near City Hall downtown, and they're booking it tonight.
They are, and of course this is a different route at the end. They were able to keep their beloved Mid-City in the front end, but no St. Charles Avenue. They turned on Elk to Loyola coming in the Dome, and I'm so glad they were able to maintain the Mid-City part of the route. That's who they are, you know.
Yeah.
It's so important to that neighborhood, and they're back, and I'm just surprised they got to the Dome this early. This is, I think, ahead of schedule.
Well, that's good. We like that. Yeah. Especially for the people in here who are ready to get the party started and they want to catch some throws from all the riders.
And you can see people already are decked out in their light up gear, their hats. I've seen a light up cape kind of walking around here. And they're going to catch more light up stuff when those floats start rolling in here. But you can see them. You got to love the Endymion floats. They're always so gorgeous. One of the most beautiful night parades ever.
And something I think that we've all personally commented on as we've been, along the parade route the past few days, the pent-up demand for parades, and for carnival season. People are just so wanting to party and celebrate with one another and really experience Mardi Gras again.
Absolutely. Like you said.
There's the pent-up demand. I mean, with 2 years we've been waiting for this. As late as November, there was still a question mark. Would we have it this year? And now that we do, there's just so much excitement in the air. Look at the costume.
And Arthur, it's funny you say that, Arthur, the pent-up demand. People in stores were shopping at the last minute this week because I think everyone still had that fear that we wouldn't be able to have these parades or these balls. And now that it's happening, people have been flooding the stores and buying all of their gowns and tuxedos, all their throws for the parades. But people really excited there. I believe we're taking a look at it.
I think this is the Queen, Helen Trask Alford. I believe this is the Queen. They stop now at about Loyola, Poydras, kind of in that region. They're not doing this year because of the shortened route. The typical stop at Gallier Hall in front of the mayor, in front of the grandstands there, and the traditional toast. So they're doing it in a different location, closer to City Hall. But I believe that is our Queen, Helen Trask Alford.
That's her.
Saluting the crowds.
And they're moving. They're booking it.
They really are.
They should be pulling up behind us any second now. Of course, we'll see those bands as well. So many huge college and high school bands. You can hear them kicking off all the fun behind us. But yeah, they have all these.
All right, let's get a sense of how things are going down on the floor where people are milling about. They're just waiting for those floats to get in. Let's toss it down to our Garland Gillen and Juan Kincaid.
We're back at the Superdome.
3, 2, 1, 3, 2.
Thank you very much. Down here on the floor of the Superdome with Garland Gillen. Hey, this is the place to be. I know they're up in the lofty perches talking about things about to happen, but when things get started, Garland, this is where you want to be. It's going to get wild down here.
I'm a little afraid right now.
That's okay. I'll hold your hand.
I can see the everybody's starting to get really excited. They cleared out the area. We're like by ourselves.
Yes.
And by the way, the theme this year is fire and ice. Obviously, Juan brought the fire.
This is beautiful. What is this?
Look at this burgundy suit. You can like pet it. It's like a beautiful dog. Look at this thing, man. Coming to America right here. Looking. Oh yeah, it's beautiful,
listen,
baby.
I did this jacket in honor of the sports guys at Fox 8. We always talk about the burgundy, the suit. Sean Vazan, Chris Hagan, Edwin Vasilios. I did it to represent the Fox 8 sports office. Because listen, again, they just cleared this out, but in a little bit, it's going to get wild with all the floats coming in and out of here. It's going to be fun.
Well, what's the one thing you're looking forward to catching tonight out here, okay? Or like dodging tonight out here?
I think dodging's the better thing because from a couple years ago of doing this, the one thing I remember is being pelted by beads coming from all over the place. You get some great beads here, though. And so I'm just looking forward to having a good Endymion finally for once back inside the Superdome.
Yeah, and I get a kick out of everyone wearing tuxedos and evening gowns, and we're getting totally bombed by beads there. We're scurrying, and we're all like in business suits here, okay?
You know what? It's a sign of the times, though. 'Cause I think back when I was in high school and college wearing tuxedos, you had the ruffles and everything in the middle. Everyone's wearing the patent leather shoes, black leather shoes. Now, everyone's wearing tennis shoes, and most people are having light-up tennis shoes in Mardi Gras colors. Things have certainly changed in about 30, 40 years.
What, did you say ruffles on your tuxedo?
Ruffles. And with that, let's go back upstairs to the people at the desk. Thank you very much.
And
Thank you very
also
much.
on Burgundy or
Burgundy.
You got that.
I did catch that.
I was wondering.
Well, Meg and Arthur, right now we're taking a look at the Marine Band making their entrance into the Dome, one of the first bands that we'll see tonight. They are, I'm telling you, the crowd is just so excited right now. The first band is in, and it looks like the next band, I'm trying to peek around the corner there to see if we can get a glimpse of the next band coming in right behind them. But again, this is the U.S. Marine Band making their way around the dome.
And they're actually going to stop here, I believe, in front of the stage, and this is typically where they perform the national anthem. So we'll all stop for that, and then after they make their way to the back of the dome and out of the dome, that's when we'll have the parade of bands come through, and we'll be able to hear each band that performed tonight in Endymion. What a long night for all of those folks. Oh my goodness, they walked the entire route, and then they have to make one more big loop inside the dome before their evening is done.
But they get pumped up the minute they hit the dome,
I was
believe
going to
me.
say that, Meg. You know, those kids look, and I say kids because I call everybody younger than me kids now. I guess at that age now. But I was going to say, you know, the band members, the dancers in those bands, they are exhausted, really, but the energy, the adrenaline they get when they hit certain points along the route, this is one of those points. They will be so pumped when they walk in here and see the crowd.
What a way to end a parade, huh?
Absolutely.
Inside the Caesar Superdome. It's not too shabby.
All right, let's take a pause here and listen in as they're about to perform the national
Ladies and
anthem.
gentlemen, please stand and remove your hats as the Marine Band now play our national anthem.
The Marine Corps Band playing the national anthem inside the Superdome. And Arthur, it was a first for me. I don't know if you've seen that before. Fireworks inside the dome while the
How
national
about
anthem
that?
was
Right
being
at the
played.
appropriate spot. And that's how you play the national anthem. No frills
Absolutely.
version. Just terrific. What a band. What
It's
a
a
band.
great way to kick off the night.
It is.
Absolutely, and Meg, I'm looking around the corner there to see the entrance there. I'm seeing some flashing lights, so it looks like we have some more activity coming in just behind the Marine Corps Band. Again, I just cannot stop talking about the energy in this building. It's something.
I'm telling you, if you've never been in here before, the first time you're kind of like, wow.
It is a little bit overwhelming.
There's so many people. And, you know, I wanted to comment on something that I believe Garland was saying, or maybe it was Juan, about the different looks, you know, because in years past you'd have women in heels and, you know, men in tuxedo shoes, dress shoes. And we are seeing a lot more casual looks this year, a lot more blinged out tuxedo jackets.
Absolutely. I think Rob Krieger set off the trend for
Yes.
But I have seen some very colorful tuxedo jackets. I'm loving it. I'm loving it,
That's
guys.
Mr. Bling to
Oh
you.
my God. Oh no, it's sequins. He tells us that everyone knows he loves sequins.
Exactly. Okay, right now we have the procession of the NOPD motorcycles. They're going to be making their way inside the dome. We typically have the different emergency response vehicles, all of them that were in the procession as Endymion made its way through the route. They will now proceed around the dome before we get to the parade of bands.
That's quite the sight too. It just kind of puts into perspective how many officers it takes to run these parades, keep everyone safe, keep everyone in line and organized. Pretty spectacular sight, absolutely.
Okay, you're also taking a live look right now as we watch the parade of motorcycles inside the dome. You're taking a live look at the king, this year's king of Endymion, and he is giving his toast there outside of not Gallier Hall. He is sort of near City Hall. Again, as I said, the route was shortened, so they kind of had to shift things just a little bit, but he is giving his toast there and his speech. Typically, the mayor is out there, other dignitaries of the city to greet the king of Endymion.
And the king this year is Maurice Barre. And just in case people are familiar, Arthur, how they select the king.
How
talk
cool
about that
is that?
process if you can.
Every man the king, or at least the possibility of being king. And you know he's happy. His name was drawn, picked by the queen at the coronation, an Endymion tradition. And, you know, I did a history book for Endymion for the 25th anniversary and got really close to the crew. And I said, come on, guys, this is kind of rigged. No, it's not. It is completely honest. They've been members that for 30 years have tried to win, never did. First-year guys have won in, so it's the real thing.
So to clarify, every single member of the crew's name goes into a massive
Well,
coffer?
not every single member. You have to join the King's Club, and I think you pay a small fee to do that. But anybody who wants to can, and it's for real. I mean, 2 or 3 times a guy like just joined last week, his name gets picked. Man, how cool is this?
Could you imagine? And you've got, a lifetime member.
Yeah.
And he says, what's my luck here?
But it's fun. It's part of what we do here, and I think Endymion deserves a lot of credit for giving everybody a chance.
Absolutely. And I mean, what a thrill of a lifetime to be able to call yourself the king of Endymion or, king of Carnival.
And it doesn't cost you anything. It's not like you have to pay a fee or anything.
Right.
They pick up your expenses. So, and we've had some great kings through the years, and almost every one of them, of course, has stayed and continued to be a member through the years. Really neat.
And a lot of them have, a lot of community service backgrounds. I mean, they're very philanthropic, very into giving back to the community. So it's always nice to be able to touch on that, as well as, the honor that they have of being named king of a certain organization.
Yeah, it's neat.
All right, as the parade of motorcycles makes its way out of the dome here, we are gearing up for it to be very loud, but also very exciting. The Talladega College Tornado Marching Band will be first up here in our parade of bands.
And again, it's going to take a little minute. That was a lot of officers who just did that procession around the dome. Several of those mobile command units, and they're making their way out of the backside there. You can see their tail lights as they're making their way out, but as soon as they clear out, Talladega will be right behind them. A big band, Meg. Boom! You said, it's going to be loud. They're a booming band, so we're going to hear them probably before they even hit that entranceway. And I know they're so excited to be here.
They're good. For some of the live shots we've done for Fox 8 during the week, Talladega Band was in the formation area, and they gave like a mini concert before they even paraded. And I'm thinking, guys, save it. But no. They wanted to entertain, and the other high school bands that were gathered around were like taking lessons from these guys. Boy, this is what I want to be when I grow up. They really play well.
It's interesting too, as we sit in here and kind of savor the moment of being back in the dome. Next year, from what I understand, we'll be back in the convention center.
Yes, we will.
Because of renovations to the Superdome.
Renovations to the dome to make it Super Bowl ready.
So we have to savor the moment, and then hopefully we'll be back here in maybe 2 years from now.
We will.
We'll see. All right, let's send down to Juan Kincaid and our Garland Gillen.
Hey, what's up, fellas? Juan. We're starting to get the sirens in here. I'm getting a little nervous. I mean, my hands. Look at my hands.
You couldn't get nervous.
My hands a little sweaty, man. I don't want to mess up that jacket, baby. I'm sorry, bud.
Please welcome the Talladega
It's gonna be all night long. I'm gonna be talking about this
We're
jacket.
just getting started. He's already nervous.
Talladega College is a Mardi Gras veteran.
It's starting to pick up,
returns to the
and that's
Endymion
good.
Parade.
Yeah.
Everyone's
for the
waiting
8th
patiently for Bede to be hit in the face with.
And check it over, Tim. Turn around. Look, people are like hustling to the other side right now.
300
To the side right now. They're hustling around.
And put on another great show.
Definitely, people are getting nervous or running around, and it's going to be definitely. We know it's about to be time, huh?
Yes, it is. I mean, there's a little bit of a break here. A band coming in right now. This is Talladega College coming in, the Tornado Marching Band. One of my favorite things about Mardi Gras, no matter what parade we do, is the bands. The creativity of the bands, high school, college level. I love hearing the bands play. And Talladega from Alabama coming in right now. And they got that burgundy on!
Oh, snap! This is great. They got the burgundy suits.
You know what?
Right. We know it's first off. Let's say we know it's burgundy.
Yes.
But
listen,
in honor of New Orleans, and there's a street called Burgundy. We say Burgundy.
They understood the assignment, which was to coordinate.
Talladega College is one of the best bands in the land.
Yes, they are.
Stuff.
Fantastic. I love it. Let's listen in for just a little bit, and then we'll toss it back upstairs to Meg and Kelsey. Out of Talladega, Alabama. Fantastic. Getting this party started the right way here inside the Superdome. What do you think, Garland? Like that band? Good start?
Good start. But you know me, I'm a New Orleans boy. Give me the Marching 100, St. Aug.
All right.
You believe this is the 56th year of Endymion, and St. August marched 54 years in a row.
Tradition.
I did some research today, and that one caught my eye. When the Marching 100 comes walking in here, I get a little extra hype.
Well, listen, we love the Marching 100. Also, during the week, we saw Edna Carr's band play on St. Charles Avenue. Did a little story on them. One of the things that makes Mardi Gras so special, not just on Endymion night, as we get to Fat Tuesday, but the entire Mardi Gras season, the bands make it for me.
Yeah, and this Mardi Gras season, Edna Carr's now become one of the big viral video bands there. I saw them jamming out under the underpass there. That was fantastic stuff. And we got another band coming right behind us.
Alcorn State.
Yeah, Alcorn State, let's keep it, baby, in the swag.
The sounds of dynamite. I like it.
Let's listen in on the Alcorn State University band from Lorman, Mississippi. What's the best band in the swag, baby?
Alcorn State University. Alcorn.
You sure?
I'm positive.
Give me a reason why Alcorn State's one of the best in the land.
SOD. The band. SOD. Listen.
Do your thing. Let's listen in.
You heard it, Juan. I mean, he's rolling it.
Mardi Gras this year, marching in our parade. Band is also a laboratory that provides hands-on leadership experiences, inspiring band directors and students who seek to enhance their leadership skills, confidence, self-confidence, and the band is directed by Mr. Mark Gordon.
So you got Alcorn State Marching University Band out of Mississippi. Again, we talk about the bands, and they're as good as it comes, and SWAC as good as it comes in the country. again, no, you asked me earlier, Garland, about what's the one thing you're looking forward to in this Endymion this year. What's the one thing you're looking forward to tonight?
Well, I know some people riding, so that's gonna be pretty cool. I'm gonna get probably crushed. You know, the best part about the band is they can't hit us with beads. Because once the bands are coming in first.
Yeah.
Floats are coming in behind. So at least we get a respite right now. It's nice and calm. Everybody's getting their drink on, you know. No one's got any of their stuff messed up yet, you know. My bow tie is on straight right now.
For now,
you know.
Okay.
I mean, the bow tie might be on my head
it's all
later
about the way
tonight.
you start, not how you finish.
Yeah, so
Hey, another band coming in. You mentioned they're coming in droves. Langston University, the Marching Pride Band. Langston, Oklahoma. Did I tell you, once upon a time I lived in Oklahoma. The bands are very good out there. I used to cover Langston University. Fun thing. Hey, we're going to go back upstairs. You get a better view. Let's go back upstairs to the ladies on the desk.
You know, Juan and Garland, let me just warn you, as someone who has done this for a few years now and been down on the floor, you are going to get pelted with beads, regardless of if you know somebody on one of those floats or not. They are going to hit you hard.
Absolutely. People on those floats wait to get in here and just unleash. But yeah, these bands they sound so good. I hope everybody at home is enjoying this as much as we are. They sound so great. And you can hear the pride in the band. Of course, the Alcorn band members saying they're the best band in the land. I can guarantee if they ask one of the Langston marching members, they'll say the same thing. But you got to love it.
And get this is actually their very first time here to Mardi Gras. I mean, welcome to Mardi Gras.
Yes,
what a welcome it is.
Right, for sure.
Endymion has a tradition of putting the college bands up front. And so they lead everybody in, and then we go with the high school bands from the area. They've really got some powerful groups up front here. We're seeing Virginia Tech now, and I don't remember them being here before.
It says that they're marching again after a brief hiatus, so maybe they took a couple years off and
perhaps
come back to the Dome. They've joined us again.
Well, it looks like we have the next band marching in right now. This is the Virginia Tech University band. The Heidi Tidies.
Heidi Tidies.
Is what they call themselves. You can see they're
high and tight. There you go.
There we go. Well, they got a little bit of a backup here. Again, these bands are moving. They are making sure they're showing off their best moves, hitting the best notes in front of this big crowd here in the Dome, for sure.
Well, and they kind of have a rule, actually, when they parade through here, these bands, that they're not allowed to just kind of stop and perform.
Exactly,
right?
yeah.
They want to keep things moving.
Right.
They want to keep it fluid. So they are kind of stopping as you're watching, just momentarily as they're waiting logistically to move through. But typically, they're not, encouraged to stop and put on a performance.
They don't perform except on the march.
Yeah.
But sometimes there's logistical reasons where one band has to wait for the other one to clear. And after Virginia Tech, this is an exciting thing for anybody in the music business. Cavalier Drum Corps, Drum and Bugle Corps, is one of the founding members of DCI International Tournament each year. And I don't think they've ever been to Mardi Gras before. We normally don't have drum corps. They're going to be coming up, and I'm sure that's a first. They won the national championship 7 times, and anybody in the drum corps knows who the Cavaliers are.
They're based out of Rosemont, Illinois.
Correct, yep.
Does it feel like deja vu a little bit? We were in here a few years ago, but so much has happened since that time. So it's almost like you can forget about the pandemic and things like that when you look at the smiles on people's faces. But then you remember that we haven't been in here for a while, the reason why.
Right. And, you can think back to 2020. I don't think any of us could have ever thought the last 2 years would have transpired. And, watching back on some stuff that's happened over the years, seeing old video from the beginning of the pandemic, I mean, it's still kind of mind-blowing at times to think about all we've been through. And I think that's why on the parade routes, in here, everywhere around the city, people just have this energy because it's so exciting that we got through that, It's so exciting.
Well, and aside from us watching parades, when you think about, the kids who are in school performing in these bands, and a lot of these programs were shut down in the beginning of the pandemic, and, some of them had scholarships, or they needed to perform in the band, or they wanted to perform, and that was, their creative outlet. So how great to see them be able to do what they love again.
It's really hard to play a trombone with a mask over your mouth.
Or not with the rest of your band members, alone.
Yeah, they had some tough times, but they're back now. All the parades I've seen this year, The only masking I saw was on the floats. Nobody's wearing a mask.
Yeah.
It's socially distancing. Forget it. You know, we're certainly acting like the pandemic's over. Let's hope it is. But people are just so joyful to be doing this again.
And Arthur, that's the Cavaliers Drum and Bugle Corps was the
Yep.
unit you were talking about, correct?
Exactly. Now, I think now we're back to maybe VMI, but we'll see the Cavaliers in a second. Yeah.
Yes.
Virginia Tech, excuse me, not VMI.
And I always love seeing bands come in from other parts of the country and they're wearing beads or with their uniforms. Such an exciting time for these young people for sure.
And here are the Cavaliers.
Meg, we were talking about how quickly everybody's moving through here. It's a little hard to see across the dome, but I know coming up after the Cavaliers, we heard Garland mention it, we heard him mention it, and that's one fan favorite. My dad, all of his brothers, several of my cousins and uncles went to St. Aug, so my family is definitely a Purple Night family. So
any of them in the band?
One cousin actually was in the band. One of my dad's cousins was in the band way back when, but definitely so. You know, obviously I didn't go to St. Aug, but you know, it's the pride in my family for that school. So it's always so fun to see them around the world, but definitely right in front of you when you see them in the parade.
Their alumni is like a who's who of New Orleans, really. You know, not just the band, obviously.
It's one of those bands when you hear them coming, or you hear somebody say they're up, you're kind of like, okay, let me perk up now. It's time to listen.
And they're making the corner right now, and you can see people are kind of starting to stand on top of chairs to see to get a view of the marching 100. You'll hear them in 2 seconds. You'll hear those horns blow, and as they make their way around the dome here.
I'm hoping the Cavaliers are going to not just march, but come on, play something, guys. Here I am bragging on you.
We need to hear you. Show off your skills.
But Arthur, I wonder how overwhelming it is. You've been on the parade route all day long, but then you make your way into the dome and you see all these people.
It's something.
And St. Aug.
All right, here we go. Here we go.
St. Augustine High School's marching 100.
Please welcome the St. Augustine High School marching 100.
And you can hear the crowd cheer at that one.
Usually the first word out of a parade march is going to Mardi Gras is "Here comes St. Aug." Under the direction of the legendary bandmaster, the late Edward H. Hampton.
As Garland, I believe, said, this is the 54th consecutive year that St. Aug has marched in the Endymion Parade.
Isn't that something?
That is quite a feat. That is.
Yep.
And this is one of those bands that you see in just about every major parade during the season, too. That's another thing, Arthur. Some of these schools, I mean, once you hit, December, it's parade season, and they're practicing, and if you live in certain neighborhoods, you'll hear them practicing, and you'll see them marching through the neighborhoods.
And they train for it just like athletes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
You have to be in shape to march 5 miles carrying a bass drum.
Because they're in several parades, not just this one.
And the stamina to do these long parade routes, and then night after night after night.
Absolutely.
But they enjoy it, believe me.
All right, let's listen in to St. Augustine High School.
all. We're seeing more purple and gold, but this time Warren Easton, another very large band in town that you'll see on a lot of parades and a lot of parade routes throughout the season.
And another impressive band.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Happens to be my high school alma mater.
Oh, really?
And I'm on the board of directors over there. It's a charter school. Really proud of them. They've been pretty much consistent winners of the Rex band contests each year. I know they're in Rex again, and it's a good group.
Yeah, they do a number of parades. Typically, Nick's, Hermes, Bacchus.
Yep, and Rex every year.
And Rex, yeah.
Just happens to be the oldest public school in not just New Orleans, but the whole state.
Really? Pretty big and loud band too. And
It's funny, the mascot for Warren Easton is kind of trying to pump up the crowd. Not like they need any pumping.
No.
I think they've already got that down.
That ought to be an easy job.
Yeah, there he is.
Like you said, they've been pumped up since they walked in here. Megan, we saw people lining up outside to get in about 5 minutes after 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
They were, coming in with
Already
all their stuff
pumped
at their tables. Yeah, sparkly gowns, and you mentioned lots of very comfortable footwear in here.
Oh, yeah.
On the ladies, I really appreciate that this year for sure.
Yeah, we're not going to show you what we're wearing on our feet tonight.
Let's
just say we took the comfort route.
We might be those ladies with comfortable footwear in here tonight. All right, and you can see how the band's again making their way out of the dome, right behind Warren Easton. Now we should have Brother Martin right behind them.
Yeah, it looks like there's a little bit of a lull here. Typically, they've got them kind of filed in, right close, right after the other, but we do have a little bit of a lull.
Never quite know why that is, but it happens.
As we so often say about Mardi Gras, it's a marathon, not a sprint.
That's
and this
for sure.
night is one of the examples of that, especially if you went to the parade, you're out on the parade route early, and then maybe you made your way here into the dome because you get to watch the whole parade all over again.
Absolutely.
When the out-of-town high school bands come in, we have to tell them, pace yourself.
Oh, sure.
Sometimes we'll blow themselves out, the first 2 miles and think it's over. And you say, oh, no, this is just the halfway point.
Please welcome the Brother Martin High School Marching Band.
All right, here's Brother Martin entering the dome right now. They are led by the Dominican Debs dance team.
The band is marching many New Orleans parades, travel extensively, and they're always in the Endymion parade.
And I had the pleasure of teaching at Brother Martin from 1973 to 1989.
What did you teach?
I was a band director.
Oh, you were a band director.
Yeah.
Arthur, you've been keeping that from us all these years.
A long time ago.
So you're the Mardi Gras historian and the band historian.
Yeah, really.
I'm going to keep changing careers till I get it right. And they're getting ready to leave for Disney World. I think they leave tomorrow, as a matter of fact, for a Disney World trip. So this will be a wonderful send-off in the Dominican Debs parade with them.
I was going to say they're going to parade through here tonight. Are they running straight home to go to bed? I would imagine it's an early morning flight
And
with
then
the whole
they'll
band.
march in the parade at Disney at Orlando. I think perhaps Monday, Tuesday.
Whew, that's exhausting.
Yep.
Back to that whole marathon, not a sprint, Meg.
Exactly.
Yep, for sure.
So hopefully they're getting some rest tonight before they make that big trip. But I mean, we're all running on adrenaline at this point.
Yeah.
I mean,
and kids are strong.
Oh yeah. Sleep later, I guess.
There they are.
We still have people filing in here to the dome. Perhaps some of those folks I was talking about who watched the parade early in the route and then decided to show up here. It's always interesting to see the people who kind of still make their way in here. But we've got a ways to go before, Diana Ross and Maroon 5, tonight's headliners, take the stage. So there's a ways to go in this show.
There's a lot still on the slate for tonight.
Such great publicity for these kids. More people see you in one parade than 5,000 concerts or football games.
Right, yeah.
It's a good PR thing. It really is.
Looks like we have a little bit of a gap again after Brother Martin's band makes their way through here. We're take a moment and listen into Brother Martin's band, though.
Coming up next after Brother Martin, we've got some girl power. I like that.
Absolutely.
St. Mary's Academy Marching Band, a performance of girl power. They will be making their way here into the Dome. They haven't quite arrived yet. Another little lull in the performances, but they have extensive history marching in Endymion, Orpheus, several other New Orleans parades. They're kind of all over the place.
That's right, and
they're
Meg, this
busy.
is apparently their 55th consecutive year marching in this parade, and they're one of only 2 bands that have marched in every single Endymion parade. Girl power, girl history, we are all here for it, and it looks like they're making their way around the corner. I'm seeing some gold sweatshirts. That's likely the band, the chaperones there, helping the band make their way into the Dome. It's been a long week for them as well. You mentioned all those parades they march in, Meg, and they've actually been marching since last weekend. They marched in Femme Fatale last Sunday early.
Yes, they did. I saw
I think
them,
they led that parade. So again, it's been a long week for those ladies, but they do this every year. They train for this all year long, like you said, Arthur. They're making their way around the corner right now. You should see them in just a moment making their way into the Dome. St. Mary's Academy's band.
Yeah, they are.
You know, I'm interested to see some of the different throws this year. We talked about this year's theme, Legends of Fire and Ice, and we know that there's going to be one unique throw that's new this year, a light up to blue that apparently has LED lights inside of it, which is pretty darn cool. So it'll be interesting to see when Juan and Garland start getting pelted by beams and all the other throws down there, what they have to show us, what interesting things they're able to catch.
Aren't you glad we're up here?
Yes.
We're on the 3rd floor.
Honestly, one year, well, actually a number of years, we had a photographer who would wear an actual construction hard hat while he was working because we got hit so many times and he just was over it, didn't want to get hit in the head anymore.
Well, I mean, that makes sense. The back of his head is facing the float as he's filming, so I mean, got to protect yourself, you know.
Exactly.
And many times people on the float, they're not throwing at you, they're throwing to you. Think they're doing you a favor, but when you're working and have a camera
and can't keep your eyes on the float the whole time, it can be a little bit treacherous.
Again, you're looking at St. Mary's Academy High School band making their way around the Dome right now. Of course, led by the flag twirlers first, and then the band is just behind the dancers, of course, and then of course there's the band. Playing a little Mardi Gras mambo, it sounds like.
You know, I was looking at their outfits and I was thinking about how the weather tonight has pretty much been perfect for this parade. Not too hot. We certainly had parades in years past when it was 80 degrees and others when it was 30 degrees.
Right.
So we were kind of right in the middle tonight, which is great.
That makes it all the easier for these kids to
Absolutely.
march.
All right, let's listen in.
Please welcome the Salmon High School Marching Spartan Band. The Marching Spartan Band for the North Shore is an Endymion veteran. This year the band boasts impressive 120 marchers. The band has marched in a handful of New Orleans parades, including Endymion, Rex, and Orpheus. The Salmon High School Marching Spartan Band.
All right, again, you were listening to St. Mary's Academy Marching Band, and now you're taking a look at Salmon High School Marching Spartan Band. Salmon High School, excuse me, they are located in Slidell, and they are also parade veterans.
Good band. Lighted trombone slides.
I
Pretty
know.
cool.
That's pretty cool. I'll listen to them for just a moment. That's Salmon High School from Slidell Marching Band. And Arthur, you were commenting on the lit up slides on there. It's pretty cool. When they came in, it was kind of dark in the corner they were in. You could see them all lit up because of those.
And I saw some of the drum sections in some of the bands also with lights strung around. It's kind of neat.
You know what I've been noticing too, looking out into the crowd, I'm seeing a number of people with LED lights almost built into their outfits. Like I just saw a woman walk by with what looked like a homemade cape. Yeah, and it had LED lights all throughout it. A way to stand out for sure if you're trying to catch some throws.
Yeah, this place is all sparkly from the gowns and the tuxedo jackets, but then it's blinking with all of the LED lights and necklaces people have on. Looks like we have a little bit of a gap in bands once more.
Well, next up we are awaiting the entrance of the Kenton Ridge High School Marching Cougar Band. They are based out of Springfield, Ohio.
Quite a trip for those young kids.
Oh, yeah. Can you imagine joining the band maybe in your freshman year? Yeah. And, you know, they tell you, hey, we're going to go march in Mardi Gras. It's one thing to hear that. It's another thing to come down and experience it.
And Meg, talking about that, the LED lights that people have, these ladies mostly in necklaces, but we've been seeing some really snazzy outfits. People have gone all out this year. Again, we haven't been doing this for 2 years, you know?
All right, you're taking a live look now at the Club Endymion float that's passing by our camera there at Loyola and Poydras. So the rear of the floats making their approach here to the Superdome.
And Maggie mentioned a helmet earlier. See that lady there in a white helmet right in the middle of the crowd? She's ready. Gown and helmet, ready for the extravaganza. All right, looks like the Kenton Ridge High School Band's making its way around the corner right now. Again, I can only imagine what's going through their heads right now. As they turn that corner and see this room.
Quite an experience.
And obviously, this is not just a room. This is a,
no.
I mean,
an arena.
A way understatement.
Yeah.
But
Now, how many venues are there like this? Where did you march?
Right.
Inside Superdome.
Right.
Yeah, right.
Right. I'm sure their chaperones taking tons of pictures.
Oh,
I hope they are. Video and pictures to
There they are.
Document this
all those
moment.
beads.
All right, here's Kenton Ridge High School. They've made their way into the dome. And they are preparing to make their way around.
You can even see the look
The
on some of their faces. They look like almost in shock.
Where are we?
Yeah, right. Wait, we were just at a parade. Where are we now?
And they look like they've caught a lot of beads.
Yeah, for sure. I think when people see bands from out of town on the parade route, they make sure to share their beads with them.
Oh, yeah.
Which is nice if they hand them the beads. If they throw it inside the sousaphone, not so much.
Exactly. All right, let's listen in a little bit to the Kenton Ridge High School Marching Band from Ohio.
The band is the best traveling parade marching band and has been featured in the parade in the Walt Disney World, the Outback World Parade, and also the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. Please including marching swordsman band and color guard, is a dynamic ensemble consisting of the band, drum line, and color guard. The band performs all football games, pep rallies, school marches, and several other New Orleans parades, including Hermes, Rex, Baptist, and Endymion. St. Paul's High School Marching Wolves Band.
You're taking a look now at St. Paul's High School Marching Wolves Band, based out of Covington.
And I think people recognize them usually for their hats that they wear and the dance moves. Here we go. They are about to start it every single year. New choreography. They have an absolute ball in the parade route every single year. They're really good with getting the crowd involved in their routine.
Yeah.
I think they're just warming up.
A lot of energy.
It's about to go down. I'm seeing it. I'm feeling it. Here we go. All right, let's take a listen in.
Looks like we have one more band up here.
Final one.
Abramson Science Academy High School Marching Band. They have not yet made their way into the dome, but they should be here momentarily.
Yeah, the reason for some of these delays, these bands each obviously follow a float. They're following float 13, so probably those floats are pulling over to let the bands through. They've got to stage them, then the bands come in. I know they want to keep this moving, but you can't march over a float. You have to wait for passers to come around. I think that's what's happening here. But really, movement's been pretty good, don't you think?
Absolutely. Oh, yeah, they've been booking it tonight. And actually, the Endymion letters and the floating heads, if you will, they're coming in next, so perhaps Abramson didn't march tonight.
I doubt that, but we'll see.
Maybe they're just a little bit behind. All right, you've been watching our live coverage of the Endymion Extravaganza from inside the Superdome. We're going to have much more of the action. Stay with us right after the break.
Fox 8 Tuxedos provided tonight by Tuxedos to Go.